Hello and welcome to Dark Heresy, where we try and break into a saturated market by doing nothing original. Last time, you travelled to the Skystarer's Scriptorium and met up with some of our remaining locals and confirmed the allegiance of the Blades of Vresh. You made plans to raid their camp come nightfall and try to eliminate their flak tanks so that you could attack them in the morning. Let's say it's around 6 p.m, the sun is setting. What's going on? What's the plan? What are we doing?
I think we should have dinner, and I have my servitor meat just to brace myself
course.
for the battles ahead.
Yeah. You have your server jerky, or cirky, as we've called it.
Yeah.
It is. I don't want to say refreshing.
Does this cirky turn me into a pig?
No.
What?
It tastes satisfying to you, but what that means, I think I'm going to leave up to the audience to decide.
Why would you do that to me? Now I've got to think about that.
But yeah, you guys are basically in your camp. So the plan was, if I remember, sneak in tonight, somehow blow up the Hydra flak tank, potentially with stormtrooper support, and then in the morning, like come dawn, blow up the flak tank, raid the place, kill them all, get the air support in, all of that.
Yes.
Wow. That's
Cool.
exactly what we're going to do. I mean, the only other thing is that I'm going to shoot a useless telescope, but that's about it.
Every telescope has a use. I'm very clear on that in Dark Heresy.
on my watch, it won't.
One worried about it.
No. So yeah, if you are going to raid it tonight, I'm going to say you guys are like a 20-minute walk away from Quartz Crossing. Like, I'm not going to make you travel there or anything. If you want stormtroopers to come in, you're going to have to call them in. You need to tell them if you want them to land with the Valkyrie or to just come in via grav shoot. So, if you'd like them in,
Grav shoot is harder to detect.
Grav shoot is harder to detect, but to be honest, if you're not jumping into combat, that's fine. They can just jump a little way away from you and walk up to you. So whereas Valkyrie is quite obvious, but 100% accurate, obviously. But if you're not if you're not hot dropping into combat, Grav shoot is going to be more of a stealth insertion because it's much harder to detect. So what would you like to do?
Personally, I think we probably should have them pop in via grav shoot. Then we only want them to react when we want them to react. So we need to give ourselves as much time as possible.
Cool. I think that's a good idea.
Like that.
Let me pull up the available assets for you guys, just to remind you. So you basically told Lane to have all these guys ready to deploy. So you've got the Avenger ground attack craft, Firebrand, which is part of your plan for tomorrow. You've got 2 Lightning Air Superiority fighters, and you've got 2 Valkyrie transports, one of which can take 10 Stormtroopers. I think the plan was to only bring 10 Stormtroopers down and keep 10 in reserve, but you can obviously bring down the whole platoon if you wish. Completely up to you. So yeah, what is the plan then for tonight?
Well, I know my plan for tonight. I want to try and observe all their movements, see if we can, I guess, see if they're reacting in any way to the fact that we have, recently visited them. Maybe they might be on edge. At least I know I would be.
Okay.
Especially after what I heard over the microphone.
You're always on edge, bud. Always just edging away.
But it doesn't help when certain people decide to be one with the sand in my...
Look, I don't know how to break this to you, but constant vigilance is very important.
One might even say it's hypervigilance around you.
Well, you know what they say.
What? What do they say?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what they say.
Well, now that's got me more worried than I wish I was.
Oh, well.
So
that's for us to not know and for you to find out later.
Binary.
Amelia said something in binary?
Yeah, I was just when he says that, you know what they say.
Yeah.
So I just replied binary.
BGG says something to respond in binary, which sounds a little bit like laughing to those of you who don't obviously speak binary. So from your spotting, Lothar, I'm not going to make you roll for like stealth or anything because you're a good distance away and you've got your magnoculars.
Thank you.
So looking at Quartz Crossing, the camp here, there's a decent amount of guys here. you can't tell a huge amount. You know, you're not seeing a huge amount of footfall, but you definitely see quite a few campfires lit amongst the tents.
How many meters are we?
I'm going to say you're about 200 meters away.
Damn.
In Imperial, let's see, 200 meters.
I'm horrible with
feet. That
No,
is.
I'm horrible with meters, feet, or anything.
It's like 600 feet away.
It is, yeah, it's 656.168 feet away. If that helps.
Look at
Too
that.
far.
Too far. But basically, yeah, you can see that generally most of the defenses in the camp are centered around the tower. More of them, you know, there's a lot more people, you think, probably in these tents towards the western edge of the camp, and there's a lot less defenses there. But yeah, you can see maybe one patrol of a two-man team on the western edge, and then 3 two-man patrols on the eastern edge near where the flak tank was. You have only seen the tower and a little bit of the camp in your little gander that you had a little around. Yeah, so if you want to infiltrate, you need to call the stormtroopers ASAP and get them in. But yes, it's up to you. How many guys would you like to bring?
Gotcha. All right.
Oh,
Well,
how stupid do you want to be, too?
Well, you could just gun them all down from here. Up to you.
I mean, I'd rather not be stupid at all with this. Like,
Well, you know, there's stealthy, but there's also the confusing it up front.
I think, given our group, Amelia, I think we're gonna have no problem with that whatsoever. But I don't know.
We could
I know that
literally like have them called down and it's, you know, look, from Vresh it comes blah blah blah.
well, yeah, we could do that, but we're also trying to.
What are we trying to do? We're trying to make sure their anti-air can't fire on our ships.
Right. Which I'd
Or,
rather not try to approach them because they'll see the approach. I'm confused.
Dora realizes his microbead was muted and you didn't hear his great joke from earlier. So just chuckle for Tora.
He knows we're sitting next to him, right?
So
we just choose not to.
So
we just choose sometimes not to listen to him.
So I think you guys need to discuss what the plan is tonight. So yeah, your goal, if you want to hit them hard and go loud tomorrow morning, you need to get rid of that flak tank. How are you doing it tonight?
Right.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, stealth is good and all, but there are a lot of them.
I think. Well, look, we could summon. I don't know. We need to make sure the message is carried across. In my estimation, which is we need to tell them why they're all being executed. So, what if? Can I borrow? Did we bring down that commissaire's gun?
And
what do you mean
no,
bring it down?
The Commissar Kron still has his gun back on Thragandia 4.
No, but the
one that he gifted us.
The
is
one
what
that
he's
they
talking
got
about,
gifted.
the bolt gun.
Oh,
You mean
that's
the bolt
Amelia's
gun that's in my leg.
Yeah.
Why would you tell him it's in your leg?
Into your leg?
Yeah.
I
She's
made
got like a
pocket
hidden
in my leg
yeah.
so I could pop it out.
Yeah.
I use that gun all the time.
Yeah, she's got a hidden holster in there. It's great.
I
wish you wouldn't light fires with it.
I had a bit of a line ready for it, but it's all right. I think we bring in 10 of the stormtroopers, and we have them ready, and then say a crack stealth team sneak their way in for a moment, and then we I think we just attack at night. So we get in, we get them to bring down some bombs for us as well. So we actually
they will come with melter bombs. Don't worry.
Yeah. We bomb the shit out of the hydroflak tank. We get out. Just as like bomb goes off, we call in danger close, and then we slaughtering all of the non-believers.
And here I thought you weren't listening.
Sounds like a plan to me. Cool. So,
I agree.
first step of that plan is how are you getting the stormtroopers in? 10 of them will be one Valkyrie. Do you want them grav shooting or a Valk landing?
Grav shooting would be less detectable. The other 10 we can bring in a Valkyrie if we need.
Cool.
Having them sit in reserve somewhere far out. I think I'd agree with that.
Cool. In that case, you need to get on the Voxcaster and call up Dad.
All right. I guess I was going to say Tora's going to. I am not letting Tora anywhere near
Tora
this.
would like to make a sleight of hand check to grab the phone.
No,
Go
denied.
No,
Okay.
no,
No, go
I'll
on.
let him do it.
Okay,
If he
okay.
totally wants to.
I should have opened up my character sheet before
That
this.
would be useful before making a roll.
This is I can't believe I've gotten this button stuck on this Vox. Every
I'm looking-
time I put it away.
Do I get a bonus for catching
Fuck it.
Lothar by
A
surprise?
plus 10 bonus. Why not? I'm a
Yeah.
merciful god.
The only thing that's catching is this
Yeah.
thing on my butt. Where'd it go?
So you grab the Voxcaster out of his big long arms.
I hit redial.
Hello.
Hello, Dad. It's me.
Oh, Tora. Hello.
Oh, buddy,
Lothar's definitely not dead.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
Yeah.
That makes me more suspicious. But how can I help you?
We'd like to bring in the boys medium style.
Okay, I'm gonna guess that is.
Remember that book of code words I gave you for operations?
Hang on.
You said you'd research it for
Oh,
me.
yeah, I've got the book here. Hang on. Yeah, that's Oh yeah, 10 stormtroopers. No was, boss.
Yep.
Cool. And the Avenger is ready to go. Just they will deploy alongside. Well, when you need it, and just give them a shout when you want them to complete the fire mission.
Can you also just ask them? Can they bring down a backpack full of grenades for me? Something like anti-personal, something to make people suffer.
Oh well, sure. I will see what Cleo's able to bring with her platoon.
All
right, brilliant. They'll come down near you soon. Okay.
Nice to hear from you, Dad.
All right, big love. Bye.
How's pretending that it's a demon incursion and not just you wanted to play golf?
It sounds like he's hung up. Very sadly. I'm really, really sorry. You'll never know. You do hear someone go, "Hey, watch this drive" in the distance, but So, I think after a moment, eventually you see 10 troopers emerge from the darkness to the south of you. The red orbs of their rebreather masks are dim and dull. Beneath their jet black carapace armor, each has a tan jumpsuit and a hood to blend them into the desert. This is Squad Palatine, which Gunnar and Mian are part of. The squad leader, Cleo, takes off her helmet, her scarred, ugly face locked in a scowl. She approaches you, Lothar. "What's our plan of action?" she says.
All right, here's the plan. And then I'm going to relay everything in a really cool voice about exactly what we just said we were going to do.
Cool. Sneak in, deal with the Hydra flak tank, job done, take only a handful. Cool.
And in particular, pointing
Yeah,
out
talk
that...
like- Sorry.
I was going to say, pointing out that Tora is going to go with them.
Cool. She says, "What's our plan with prisoners? Are we taking prisoners? Or is this a kill on sights maneuver?"
This is a kill on sight.
She nods her head and attaches her helmet again with a metallic hiss. So, who is the infiltration team you're taking in?
Tora, Gunnar, maybe another 2.
Is Lothar going? The stealth
Oh, yeah.
expert?
Lothar's
maybe-
actually going to hang back on this one.
Cool.
Provide
Maybe
what kind of sniper cover I can.
Okay. So, Lothar, Gunnar, and then 2 other stormtroopers. Cool.
Mhm.
How far does all my
You're going to be within
connected
range.
stuff
Yeah,
work?
yeah. You're within
It
a
does
kilometer.
work.
You'll be fine. Yeah. You're also in very open terrain here. Okay. Yeah, Lothar. In that case, yeah, you'll be able to spot for these guys as they're
My
going in.
hearing is terrible. It does work.
It does work. Yes, you'll
Okay.
be able to. You'll be able to see what they see, and I'm going to say as well you've linked into the stormtroopers. Why not? And Lothar, you'll be able to spot for them from your elevated position up on this ridge overlooking Quartz Crossing. BGZ
Excellent.
is obviously not coming with you. He ain't a stealthy boy. He's a combat boy. Awesome. So yeah, Gunnar and 2 others. So it's going to be an infiltration team of 4. So from your elevated position, it looks like there are 2 ways into the camp that you can see. So either you approach from the east, closer to the tower, which is where the flak tank is, or you go through the main camp to the west. Obviously, the smaller your team is, the easier it will be to infiltrate, but the less support you will have if things go wrong, but you're chosen for. So from the east, it looks like there are several more guards. There's a lot less cover, and you can see at least 3 patrols walking near the tower. It would be the more direct route, but it would be striking at the point of highest resistance. The western entrance, you can only see 1 patrol, but you would have to go through the main camp. It's obviously a lot more cover because it's tents, but you can't really see what's in there because of the tents. So which route do you think would be best to infiltrate?
I think we go through the west.
Cool.
Sounds like a plan.
So Quartz Crossing has a dry riverbed to the south of it. There's like maybe an ankle deep of water at the bits of it that are still wet. I'm going to say you're approaching midnight now by the time these stormtroopers have come down. They all have the hell guns on them, but most of them seem more geared to use their knives for this. They don't really have any silent ranged weapons. So we have BGZ, Amelia, and Lothar back at the camp doing sort of overwatch. We have Tora, Gunnar, and 2 extra stormtroopers. I'm going to say the rest of the stormtroopers are with you in the camp, just keeping watch, basically. Tora, emerging from the riverbed, you can see the massive many tents before you, about 50 meters out. At this hour, there doesn't appear to be much activity in the camp, but you can hear quiet voices and the crackling of fires, but there's little else. You can see 1 patrol, quietly walking a haphazard path, dull stab lights illuminating the sands. They seem to be armed with laslocks and kind of talking quite quietly to themselves. You are crossing open ground. I'm going to need a stealth roll from the lead infiltrator, which will be you, Tora, and everyone else will follow suit if you wish to cross this open ground.
Over the bead, I'm also going to say if you need any help, let me know.
Can I pull the pull tab on my jacket and turn it from bright fluorescent yellow to black?
Of course
you
can.
Does that give me a bonus 10?
No, but you look sick as fuck, and the stormtroopers seem to appreciate the fact that you're not got a fucking high fluorescent jacket out in this dark environment. Okay, that's a failure with 1 degree of failure.
I'll fate that.
Okay, so that would be a failure, I'm afraid. Okay, Tora. We've only so it was a target of 50 and it was a dice roll of 54. I'm going to say that as you were approaching, I think that you sort of shepherd the stormtroopers on, who are sort of approaching very, very quickly in a very tight formation. That they are pressed up against a tent. I think as you scramble up a tiny little bit of rock, one of these rocks go tumbling, and one of the guards kind of walks over, investigating it with his stab light. So they are approaching towards you now.
Okay, so we're behind Tora. Oh, God. So like knocked a rock, like we're behind the tent.
I'm gonna say yeah. You're on like the edge of the tent from the furthest tent from the center of the camp. You're basically pressed up against.
We kick the rock. Tora would like to wait until the guys coming like across with the stab light and hide like pressed up against the other side, like the side of the tent against where he can't see. Wait for him to approach, and if he starts to round the bend. Oh, actually, no. Tora's going to do this. Tora, having spent most of his time at Al Jadar looking at his book on animals and Tora's big book of what to kill, would like to attempt to make the Algerian desert mouse, very distinctive squeak,
Okay.
and throw at the same time throw another small little pebble further out, away from it all.
Could
Be
you
like,
make
it sounds
a deceive intelligence or fellowship up to you roll, please?
I have a point in deceive.
You are a liar, so yeah.
Does the book give me a bonus?
No, because it was a gift from Lane.
Lane gives no bonuses.
Yeah.
I will fate that and reroll.
Okay, burning through that feint this early in the session.
Fuck.
Oh
Okay.
god. Squeak.
I'm gonna say, yeah. What does this sound like? Okay, I think the guard stops, kind of looks at the other guard who also illuminates his flashlight and moves over. Basically, they are aware of something fishy going on, and they will be coming after you, like basically checking your previous location. It looks like so there is imagine alert levels. It's at the lowest level for now, but there's still some distance away. So if you move quick, they'll be fine. So
I was gonna say, do we see the opportunity between these guys walking across and to still be able to duck through between, like avoiding where there are fires?
Yeah.
But like
Well,
going
here's
in
the
between
thing.
the tents.
So it looks like the camp is split broadly in two. So there is the northern side of it, which has larger tents.
Racists.
Yep, it's a double-sided thing. So the northern side has larger tents. The southern side has many more smaller ones. The southern side is where you can hear the distant chatter and sort of laughter coming from. Which route would you like to take?
Bigger tents where there's less noise coming from.
Okay, so that is the
Bigger
northern
tents
side.
means more cover.
Brilliant. So you move to the northern side of the camp. As the wind blows and the tents shift with your... I picture these stormtroopers are literally like in very tight formation behind you, sort of Ghost Recon style. It looks fucking sick. They got their MVGs on. As the wind blows and the tents shift, you can peek inside them as you walk. This seems to be where the majority of the camp's supplies are stored. So inside one tent you see jerry cans of fuel, and another contains box upon box of looted lasgun power cells. Inside another there is meat hanging up to dry, and inside another various sleeping horses. Very softly, you can hear quiet singing coming from a larger tent, each line punctuated with sobs. There is a man standing guard outside this tent, and you can see in the distance another guard is patrolling up and down this pathway. He is slowly approaching towards you, but cannot see you right now in the gloom.
Toro like puts his fist up to. My camera's not on. I don't know why I'm doing that.
No, that's fine. I believe you.
Toro puts his fist up and then makes like a slicing motion, and so him and Gunnar are going to attempt to Full Metal Alchemist this guy and just like slit his throat.
Okay.
Behind.
Could you explain what Full Metal Alchemist this guy means for those of us listening at home?
He's got to turn him into a dog. That's what that means.
No, like Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay.
Sorry.
Give Tori the power to turn people into dogs.
Yeah.
And then just rip them.
Like, to be fair, that would also apply here.
I'm going to turn him into a dog.
Okay. Let me think how this is working then. So which guy is this? The guy who's static outside one of the tents, or the guy who is patrolling?
The guy who's patrolling. Because I want to. If he's patrolling, I want to like get myself into a position where I can like step out of the darkness from behind a tent, and then like hand over mouth and slice his throat.
Okay, brilliant. Make a stealth roll plus 20 given the darkness for me, please. I think, yeah, Gunnar is basically, imagine it, you guys are ducking between tents. You have two stormtroopers opposite you. Gunnar is behind you. And I think this guard does not notice you with that fantastic roll as he sort of walks past.
Nicely done.
What do you do?
Little Scythe Jr. Emerges from the gloom, and it's got to be in like the one go.
Yeah.
So it's like hand, like meaty Tora hand over mouth, and then Little Scythe Junior, because it's currently a little scythe.
Mhm.
It's got a nice hook to it. So
Lovely.
it comes round and then slips
Absolutely.
his neck in two.
The worst vaudeville.
I think you keep this guy's blood as much as you can, not spraying across the sand. But I think very quickly Gunnar grabs the body and kind of drags it out behind this tent, away from the sort of main corridor he is walking in.
I take some of the like a rug or something that was rolled up outside one of these Bedouin tents.
Yeah,
Puts the body underneath it.
yeah,
Or Samuel sneezes on the upcrest.
yeah. Yeah, you rug him in that classic inquisitorial maneuver. It was a fantastic roll. He does not make a sound as his throat is slit, but he's stashed away and hidden for now. So there is a man static outside this tent where you can hear crying and singing coming from. Other than that, your route is clear.
Tora would like to.
Go on.
Oh no.
The route
I'm taking
seems clear,
oh.
or the route is clear?
So the route basically, and this side of the camp, it is a sort of long corridor, if you like. It's tent, so it's not regimented. But the only thing that seems to be in your way currently in this direction is the man who is standing outside this tent where you can hear crying from. Other than that, it seems clear.
Am I able to see anything from a vantage point that I'm at?
Sure. I think you can see that the patrol that these guys alerted earlier has now approached the back end of this corridor they are in.
Oh, so we got a time limit on this.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are gonna have company behind you. Careful.
Tora's gonna move forward. And so is there a way to approach this static guy by the tent?
Yep.
I don't know. In my head, it's just like the tent's not like big walls.
No. Like
four
you can.
walls either side.
Yeah. Like, to be honest, you could like lift up the corner of these tents and slide under if you wanted to. Like, they're not. Again, it's not regimented. It's very fast and loose in terms of it.
But is there? Do you reckon there's a way? Is there a way to approach this guy and try the same maneuver?
As in getting behind him.
Yeah.
I think yes, but as he's static, I'm going to say it's only a +10 on a stealth roll. There's
Right,
less
fuck it.
room
Once you get him to
maneuver.
turn around.
And I guess an unsuppressed sniper shot
Would probably alert them.
would
Tora,
probably
they're gonna
alert
know
some
it's
people.
me.
It's gonna be me.
It's already me. Gonna get
Yeah,
copyright struck.
Tora's gonna go for the is gonna go for the come round to like the right hand side
Okay.
of the tent. I know Tora's gonna try his stone distraction trick,
Okay.
and Tora is gonna have Gunnar on the other side, like just like roll at something.
I pictured. Sorry.
Something.
I pictured your stone distraction trick is you whip a stone at his eye.
Yeah.
He's
That'll show you.
distracted now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you do have the stormtroopers with you if you need distractions or them to take people out. It's completely up to you.
No, Tora wants to kill more people with his own hand.
Of course.
Tora. Sorry, my brain fog's really bad.
You are absolutely fine.
Yeah, Tora will have Gunnar like roll a tin of baked beans. The other
Okay.
side of the tent, something that wouldn't like alert him, but still like confuse him.
Yeah. As in, like
and then
within his vision range, he sees like, a tin of spam.
just like
rolling.
a tin of spam, like just
Yeah.
like roll across, because I just want him to just, and when he like, it's not even waiting for him to like turn around and go, what's this? It's like the tin of spam rolls, his head turns, and Tora is step 1, 2, bang.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll +20 then. Gunnar, I think, is positioned across. He grabs as all stormtroopers do, an empty tin of spam, and he rolls it quite skillfully across. Make that stealth roll for me, please. Amazing. Yeah. What does this look like?
Shut
It is.
up.
It's not even like hand across mouth this time. It's just like because he's like turned away. The first thing he realizes is when the knife bites into the side of his neck, and Tora like grabs his hair from behind as like the knife bites in,
Mhm.
and tries to cut all the way through.
It is not pretty. It is not subtle, but this man is dead.
Yeah. Is there a way to look inside the tent without alerting?
Everyone in the tent.
Tora would like to find like a little frayed edge of the tent.
Yeah, sure.
Find a little like a moth-eaten hole.
Yeah,
For all the desert moths.
There's plenty of desert moths who have eaten holes in this tent. Inside, you can see, I'm going to say 25 people who are chained to the tent posts. All of them are kind of dressed in rags. They are unarmed.
Oh, damn it. I said kill everybody.
Not again. What are necessary sacrifices to the Imperium? The gang.
Oh no, I just had a really bad idea.
Go on.
So these are clearly prisoners, right?
They seem to be people who were imprisoned, yes.
God, it'd be a snafu and a half to arm them and have them go nuts in the camp and provide a distraction to destroy the Hydra, wouldn't it?
Oh.
I don't like that I had that plan hit my head. I want to save everyone.
I
damn
don't think that plan's going to work very well.
We don't need them to be successful. We need them to be a distraction.
You seem to be
You
doing
have
all
to
right
play
so
more
far.
guard with conscripts, my friend.
So yeah, what's the plan?
Tora is not going to report this into the boys.
Cool.
Amelia
Well, no,
can see through my eyes.
We can't see in the tent.
Amelia can see because of
Yeah,
vision.
Tora
Lothar cannot.
Tora taps the micro bead and says, "We have POWs here."
What? Can they walk? Can they get out?
Actually, looking at them, Tor, they all seem to be in decent health. They're not old or children. They are sort of a good fighting age. A few of them seem slightly wounded. You see a few bandages, but nothing that is life-threatening.
I mean, out of void for now.
We can't avoid for now. The problem is, and Lothar's going to shift
Yes.
over, looking at Amelia. We can't avoid for now. We've told our stormtroopers to kill on sight.
You could also tell the stormtroopers don't kill civilians. They're not just going to go in there and blast everyone they see.
Everyone knows once you tell a stormtrooper something, you can never be undone.
Cleo's question
is secretly Tora.
Yeah,
right.
Cleo's question was more.
A bunch of children.
Cleo's question.
Yeah.
Cleo's question was more: would you like me to take prisoners rather than, basically, if I see one wounded, should I finish him off rather than take him as a captive? Basically, they're not just going to wantonly kill civilians. At least this time, without your orders.
Yeah, do your best to avoid them. Setting them free right now would just be their death.
Make a mark of where it's at so that when we call in for air support later, that they don't blow that tent out.
I don't think that's going to be an option there, Lothar.
What do you mean?
If we want to say we leave one of the stormtroopers behind. When the stormtrooper hears the Hydra flak tank blow up, because we now exit through the east side and just fucking leg it. Because I think we call danger close the moment we get in position to blow up that Hydra flak tank. Because when that goes, we don't want it to blow up and it be 20 minutes. I think we can make it out of here in about 5 to 10. So we get in position to blow up Hydra flak tank, call in danger close, and then continue on. So who are we with? Cleo, Gunnar, and then two unnamed people.
Cleo's not with you. It's Gunnar
Oh,
and
okay.
two other stormtroopers.
Okay, so it's Gunnar and two other unnamed fodder, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, I just say, at least give them a chance. Try, but shit's gonna get crazy.
If
All
that's, If that's
Taurus-
the case, yeah.
No, please, no.
I was gonna
Dora's
say,
about to step through, but Lothar goes, if that's it, and he pauses.
Right. Yeah, no, I was gonna say, if that's the case, like get them ready then to run and far and as fast as they can. Get them ready, get them prepped, and we better hope to the Emperor we get them out.
Yeah.
What do we
Alrighty.
need to do?
Tora cuts his way into the tent
Mhm.
and holds up Tora cuts away through. I think he's covered in blood, isn't he?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
Cuts his way into the tent with a finger over his mouth, going shh.
As you do so, I think 25 scared eyes look at you, but the singing and the crying immediately stops.
It's like, we're here to kill the Blades. Are you Blades?
A quiet voice speaks up from the back and says, we are from Trelna, to the southwest of here.
Oh, the Trelna Oasis.
That's right, she says.
Oh, good. All right. I'll be completely honest with you. Some fuck shit's about to go down. So, Tora would then like to start like cutting bindings and removing chains.
Looking at the jailer's body, you find a series of chains and a series of keys, and you're able to unlock them from the tent post, and they all rub their wrists quite painfully. They all seem to be actually in decent condition. They all seem to be not starving. They're wounded, but not like awfully so. But yeah, all 25 are free and currently inside the tent. The stormtroopers are with you now, covering the entrance.
All right, you guys are gonna have to, when you hear the big boom, get the fuck out and run west as hard as you can. You need to get out of here.
The young woman stands up and makes the sign of the Aquila across the chest and says, "Thank you, Skyfallen. This is a blessing."
All hail the God Emperor.
And many of them make the sign of the Aquila across their chest as you say so.
They passed the test. Tora's gotchaism relationship with the ecclesiarchy.
What would you like to do?
Lothar, how's that other patrol?
They look like they're about halfway up.
Yeah, they are slowly getting there.
I'm kind of surprised they haven't noticed all the blood yet, to be perfectly honest with you. But they are.
It's nighttime. It's blood on sand. It's not, it's overcast as well.
That's true. So better make a move, or take these guys out somehow.
Yeah, judging by the position,
Mm-hmm.
can we get into position to get like a decent enough angle on these guys to kind of like pop out and get them?
Yeah, I reckon there's 4 of you and there's 2 of them. You could probably hide between tents in sort of the tent posts or sort of the guy lines and jump out as they pass potentially.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, done.
Brilliant. So I think they're not.
I want to sync it up with Gunnar, so we both move at the same time.
Cool. Gunnar is going to be another unnamed stormtrooper is behind you, and then Gunnar is going to go across the way with another unnamed stormtrooper. Brilliant. Then I think they draw some quite cruel-looking combat knives, and they make ready. You get the feeling that this patrol isn't walking a regular route; they're kind of peering around with their stab lights. But please make a stealth test for me.
They look really edgy, buddy.
Just flat.
I'm gonna say, yeah, flat. Given circumstances. Okay, that's a failure of 4 degrees.
Final fate.
Okay. I think in quite an efficient display, I think Gunnar wraps his hand around the mouth of one of these patrolling blades, and the other stormtrooper with him very quickly slits his throat, tossing the body behind them. The other one is looking at them, aghast, who you have failed to sneak up on successfully. What would you do?
Can't yell if they've got no air in their lungs, and Tora would like to stab him in through the back.
Cool, make a weapon skill roll for me, plus 20, because we're hitting them on the arse. They're kind of distracted by Gunnar, I guess. Amazing.
Nice.
Make a damage roll for me, please. Let's see what this is.
So is this an aim? Oh no, that was a hit.
That was a hit. Yeah, so you've hit and then just damage, please.
Okay, sorry, cancel.
So no
Is that-
damage has popped up for me for Little Scythe Jr.
Yeah.
It looks like it's really, really wide
Oh,
for
yeah.
some reason.
It's a wide boy.
So I'll just roll it. It's a 1 roll, 1d10 plus 6. Pen is 5 type energy.
Okay.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Okay. I think this guy lets out a little cry as Little Scythe Jr., I think, absolutely basically rips into his spine. The air.
Yeah, just like slices through his
Yeah.
spine.
There is a gasp as his lungs are penetrated, which you worry about drawing attention, but he is dead. There is quite a bit of blood in the pathway now.
Gunnar, you went too early, bud.
He does not say anything as he looks at you with his little red eyes inside his helmet.
Ah, dear. Now I understand why Samuel liked you so much. We continue on. So we're
Cool.
about, we'd say about what, halfway?
I'm going to say you're about halfway. Along this
There was
northern.
one patrol on this west side. We're on the north side where the larger tents are.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any patrols.
So,
But
yeah. So I think, you keep walking along, breaking out of the tents. You can see the flak tank ahead in the shadow of the tower. So a few meters away from it are several crates of ammunition. There are 2 guards leaning up against it, chatting idly and smoking, and another 2 are filling sandbags, placing them on top of the vehicle to give it some degree of basic protection. Next to them is the tower, from which you can see flickering oil lamps in the upper levels. What would you like to do? So there's 4 of them in total, plus potentially more in the rest of the camp, and up the tower.
Lothar, do you reckon you can take out that light?
Which ones? Because I
There's-
see a couple.
I'm going to say, there's a hanging oil lantern, maybe quite high up in the tower, which is kind of illuminating the area a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I can pop that. Need a distraction.
No, oil lantern's gonna get popped. Each of us are gonna pick someone and we're gonna kill them.
Are you going loud, or are you using melee and going quick?
We're going melee and quick, but when this eventually fails miserably, like we're walking softly, but imagine if you were to walk softly but carry a big gun.
Okay. Lothar, I'm going to say this oil lantern, you can either shoot the oil lantern or you can shoot the chain of it. What would you like to do?
My goal is to shoot the chain. Before I shoot anything at all, I'm going to go over my shoulder. Amelia, get things running. The rest of the troopers in the car, we need to split from where I shoot.
I think the other stormtroopers load up in the Centaur. BGZ's having a great time, if anyone's wondering.
He's on the heavy stubber.
He's in the fucking 50 cal. He's checking the sights. He's having a great time.
All right.
What's the plan?
So plan is I'm going to try and hit the chain.
Okay.
Ideally to spill the oil lantern, cause a fire. That's my idea.
Lothar, make me a ballistic skill test, but with full aim.
Goddamn right. And standard range.
Mm-hmm.
And standard rate of fire. Any modifiers for me being a cool guy?
No.
All right. Didn't need them. I'm already a cool guy.
Lothar, I think this shot with a muffled crack across the desert whips through, severs this chain. The bolt does not even stop. It continues sailing to the north. it stops the chain for a moment, and then the oil pours out. The whole brazier basically tumbles down. One of the guards who is filling up one of the sandbags has a moment to look up before it crashes onto his head, covering him with burning oil. He begins to scream. It's time to move.
Yeah, done. Boom. If he's screaming, it is like oh my! I've had a revolver with a silencer on it the entire time.
Yeah, I guess you have.
I am not even surprised at you. I'm just
Yeah,
not.
revolver, silencer with the activated safety features.
I
and
like to
expanded.
imagine this is like a fucking cartoon scene. You're digging through your pockets, and you just discovered this.
Oh. Now, suppressed does not mean silent. I'll point that one out. But
No.
You know who else isn't silenced? The dude who's on fire.
this guy is thrashing around, screaming. Cool. So is this just you're telling each of the stormtroopers to run up and stab them as fast as possible?
Yeah, it's go loud, go loud.
As you guys do that, over on my side, I'm going to say move, and I'm going to get ready for another shot if I need to.
That is
I don't
one
think I saw
failure.
it yet.
That is one hit. And that is fucking hell, 2 95s there. Jesus, target of 80. These stormtroopers run up. I think I think one of them manages to fucking hell, Gunner with a 9. I think as another guy is just about to shout, I think Gunner is running up. He is putting his 2 hands on the knife, and he's straight up put this blade right up into this guy's jugular and takes it out with practice precision. I think the 2 other stormtroopers are detected as they are running as fast as possible, and these 2 guards go to draw their blades. One of them seems to be a burning corpse on the ground. Another one is dead. Tora, what are you doing?
Tora walks out. Tora, like the stormtrooper's like go, and Tora like waits like 1 beat, 2 beat, and then walks out behind him, pulls out his guns, and goes to like shoot the other guys.
Okay, make that shot for me. I'm going to say +20 on this because he is distracted by a stormtrooper who's trying to stab him. If you miss seriously, you're going to shoot the stormtrooper.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
And a half aim because Tora's walking, not running.
No, a half aim because you're spending time aiming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make that shot.
And it's short range or point blank? Short range.
This is short range, I would say.
Standard and +20.
Why?
Didn't you say +20 modifier?
Oh yeah, sorry, because he's distracted. Yes. Brilliant. Roll that damage for me. Okay. Yeah, I think this shot. This guy's not expecting this shot. I think is just turning around to deal with the stormtrooper. He's kind of caught his blade as he goes to draw his own. I think this shot just straight through his skull, and he slumps down up against the Hydra. Lothar, you need to make a shot immediately.
Damn straight I do.
Again, this is for lame. You've been scanning these guys for like 20 minutes.
Much appreciated. Oh, I missed.
That is a miss.
I'm going to fade it.
Okay. Reroll, please.
Try and do that whole thing again.
Hold on.
Or
you get +10.
You get +10 from me for every ballistic shot.
Cool. 85 to... Oh, no.
That is a hit. So roll damage for me, please.
With pleasure. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Cancel. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
my gosh.
Smart. Yeah, I think Amelia's like highlighting weak spots.
Using knives except for
Damn it.
Yeah, that is true.
I used a gun just before.
But you hit. You're fine.
Yeah, you hit and I didn't remember.
Okay. Again, the damage hasn't come up. I'm hoping that's not going to be a frequent issue with this.
It's if the special. I think it's if the special thing is too long.
Right. Lothar, I think this hits him in his neck. There is a dull rasping noise that I think the stormtroopers and Tora hear, and then again this guy is dead. Gunner sheaths his blade again and hands you a melter bomb, Tora. There is the ammo dump and there is the Hydra flak tank.
We got two melter bombs.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this too.
Okay, beautiful. Over the micro bead, Lothar, call it in.
On it. So calling it in
Mhm.
out of character because I want to be really cool in
This is
character
fine.
means basically call in the Valks and
Mhm.
get this straight front started.
Okay, so you, as in you're calling in the
I
other
assume.
Valkyrie, or are you calling in the Avenger, which was the
Both.
both?
Both.
Cool, brilliant. I think a voice crackles over your vox. There is a man straining over the sound of an engine. Guillotine, this is Firebrand in the AO. Looking up, you think you can barely see two dark specks, two aircrafts high above you, ready to engage at your signal.
All right, signal on detonation, and then going back over to Tora. Tora, you better blow that now.
Oh! I thought you wanted me to blow it later, Tora. He goes to like pull the bite the pin out the top of the melter bomb,
Yeah,
and then realizes that it's actually just like some buttons he has to press
Yeah,
instead.
Handle.
And so he like goes boop, 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 using his dexterity to do it with both bombs at the same time,
awesome.
and throws them sideways, and starts gunning it out of camp.
There is a 2-minute timer. Are you going back the way you came?
Oh, it's a 2-minute timer.
Yeah. I mean, you can set them off immediately if you want, but you've basically said start firing as soon as the explosions go off. I can't help but say you are inside the area where the explosions are right now.
It's gonna be good. Tora would like to set it. Look at Gunnar on the stormtroopers and go. I hope you've been practicing your cardio, boys. Set them for 30 seconds and then
Awesome.
start going.
Cool. I take it you're going not the way that you haven't explored yet. You're going back down the route with the blood.
Back through the route with the blood.
You are fucking running.
Does that mean can we haul ass past where the guys
where the prisoners are?
were?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tora's like, it's time. Get the fuck out.
They are following you. Lothar, you see 25 guys immediately following Tora and 3 stormtroopers who are running as fast as they can outside of the west of it, west of the camp. There is a sudden bustle of activity in the camp as a cry of alarm goes up. Great many warriors emerge from their tents. Weapons are ready. You see several jump into the Hydra flak tank, moving past the bodies there, cannons spooling up as the crew rotate the turret into a firing position. In the distance, the Avenger has dived down into a low altitude. Just as the Hydra is about to fire, fingers curling around ancient triggers, the vehicle detonates in a terrible explosion. The turret is ripped off, launching into the side of the tower, the side of it crumbling. A half second later, the ammo dump next to it detonates. 100 miniature explosions cooking off as the high explosive shells explode in a potent chain reaction. Then, as soon as you exit the camp, Tora, the ground behind you explodes. Like scribbles across a map by a petulant child, thousands of plumes of sand launch up into the sky, sending tents, supplies, and the blades into disarray. You then hear the cannon fire, the snare drum of a war god, soon followed by the scream of the Avengers' engines as it soars over your head, Lothar. The camp is a ruin, bloodied warriors picking themselves up from the mess of burning tents and bodies. Firebrand's voice comes over your vox once more. Rounds complete, preparing for next strike. Welcome to war, boys. Let me change map.
Oh, God help us, everyone.
The moment when outside when we get out of the range of the danger, Tora's going to be like, point in a direction for these guys to go, and it's like, go 5 minutes that way and wait, we'll be with you. And then Tora turns back round with his guns ready.
Awesome. So, once again, welcome to large-scale combat. This is going to get messy. So on the dune, which I'm going to say you guys are on the southeast dune from the camp, you're around 200 meters from the camp. Tora, obviously, you were right next to the camp here. With most of the
west way, didn't we?
Yes. So, Lothar, you're actually going to be further back. You're on sort of the sand dunes there. So oh yeah, sure. With most of the camp being consumed by fire now, you can't make out clear targets. Only the blades that are on your side of the tower, really. Ain't war hell. What's the plan? What are we doing? Let's place some tokens down on this map. Obviously to scale. This is not to scale. Stormtroopers are obviously. Let me move Tor a second. This is not to scale. I'm using these stormtroopers to represent.
I can drag yours over.
Brilliant.
Oh no, I can't.
You were closer than that, I'm afraid.
I'm just trying to make my token smaller.
Why do you just fucking trap?
What?
Your picture.
I
It's
don't
awful.
remember what it was.
Lothar, I'm going to
That's not why.
say you are down there, basically, as is
Okay.
BGZ and the rest of the Stormtroopers.
Let me make this smaller.
You can click on it and drag it smaller once you've
I
selected it.
cannot.
So how this is going to work is you guys basically have several surprise rounds whilst they're getting their shit in order. I'm going to say that there are quite a few nomads who... Let me make these guys smaller. Again, this is large-scale combat. You're only going to be able to see a few of these guys at a time. So a lot of them are gathered around the tower who are kind of staggering out some of the emplacements that are around there. More will come soon. It is hell. What is the plan? What are we
I
doing?
literally can't make it smaller, Warg. I don't
Let
know.
me make it smaller for you. There we go. Oh, it made it bigger.
Oh
Oh, no.
my god.
There we go.
Yeah, I can't. If you could do the same for Tor.
Obviously, this is not to scale. Like, this distance is about 200 meters from the tower to where Lothar is right now, which is several turns of movement because you are not sprinters. Yeah. What is the plan? What's going on?
First, one thing to kind of handle, because I know I had shouted out to Amelia and the stormtroopers to load up in the Centaur and go as soon as I made the first shot.
Mhm.
I don't know where they ended up or where you're comfortable saying they ended up, and that I don't know.
It's up to you. If you want, like, the stormtroopers are within range, they can disembark and basically set up on this ridgeline with you. You can have them advance towards them in the Centaur. You can kind of go hull down with the Centaur if you like on this dune, so that only BGZ is visible on it. It's completely up to you.
Got you. A part of that I think is going to be like Amelia. This is up to you on this one because you're going to be driving it. Like what your comfort level is with getting exposed out that way with the rest of the troopers.
I've survived plenty. I'm fine with getting as close as you need me.
It only takes one, so.
Okay, awesome.
I look at you with my eye that was shot out by a sniper.
All right, maybe it takes more than one.
Brilliant. In that case, Amelia, I'm going to move you over here next to BGZ. I think with a rumble of tracks, the Centaur crests the dune. I think you are starting to head over. All the stormtroopers are in the rest of it. Yeah, basically, whatever order you guys decide to go in now, this is the order we're keeping. Obviously, these guys are going to go after you. What's happening? You as well have the other Valkyrie, which is in the AO, if you need more stormtroopers or fire support.
Got it. Okay, so I mean,
like there are a lot of people in this camp. A lot of them have just been killed by this airstrike, but you can see 5 of them clearly.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm tempted to say to go first, just to try and take out ones that might be trying to get ready with other emplacements, because we still got a Hydra, but they could have other stuff there. So I don't know if there are other emplacements that I'm able to see.
Currently, no. It's just sort of these 5 guys who are picking themselves up. So yeah, we can start with you, Lothar. Fuck it, let's resolve that shot now, if you'd like.
Cool. It's hellish, so I can't exactly see everything, but I'm gonna just try and pop one of these figures off.
Okay, brilliant.
Full aim.
Yep.
Okay, standard, no modifier except the +10. Cool, hits.
Awesome. Give me that damage roll.
All right, I'm stupid and forgot. All right, there we go.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think 8 damage. These guys aren't armored. What does
Not
this look
anymore.
like?
It looks like somebody tumbling out of the base of the tower there to try and get something ready. And as they're coming out, they are tripping, and I am cresting a shot through their head and leg as they're tumbling down the stairs.
Awesome. They drop. Who's going next? Obviously, Tori, you can fight, or you can just keep running. That could be your turn if you wish. Like, because you are very exposed right now. Hello?
Tor, your microbead.
Sorry, I was wondering why people were ignoring me. I'm just used to it by now.
Oh.
No, I of course only in character, guys.
Yeah.
Tora, so Tora's outside of danger close, but
Yep.
is just wildly exposed, right?
Behind you, the camp is on fire. Like, you could go back in there, but you were walking through a firestorm, and there's a lot of wounded people, supplies, and horses. If
Fuck
someone reached this side of the camp, they would be able to shoot you quite easily because you were horrifically exposed here. The prisoners have escaped, and they're running with you to the west.
I'm just thinking.
Oh, okay.
Tora would like to. So we have Centaur, BGZ, Centaur, BGZ, Amelia Lothar, Cleo, and the other stormtrooper. Oh no, we've got Cleo and 5 other stormtroopers, right?
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's 10 altogether. We've got 3.
That is correct. 7.
So Cleo and 6.
Yes, are in the Centaur.
You
also have another squad who is ready in a Valkyrie.
Yeah, I think Tora's going to turn to the prisoners and be like, get behind that line of sand dunes just there and hunker down. We'll be with you shortly. And Tora's going to turn back and like, Gunnar, call down the other Valkyrie for me. You bring it. They're coming down on the west side. We're going to go back through and make sure no one escapes.
That was my thought exactly. Interesting.
He looks at you and says, Grav shoot or the Valkyrie coming down?
With the Hydra flak on, Valkyrie come down. A little bit of extra fire support.
Roger that.
Hurt anyone.
You hear him say something over his vox, and looking up, the Valkyrie is diving. It will be coming soon. The prisoners are running now to the south, going towards the sand dune. Brilliant. I'm going to count that as your turn, if that's okay, Tora.
Yeah, happy to.
Plus stormtroopers. Next up, then, BGZ is happy to go whenever, but yeah, Amelia, what's the plan? You're in command of this vehicle.
Yeah, I don't know how far I can go exactly.
I'm going to say you can probably get halfway to the riverbed right now.
Right. So there's a bunch of troopers as well with me, yeah?
There are stormtroopers. They can't fire out of it. They're sat in the back.
I'm thinking we want to drive something like this.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to say, you can get halfway to the riverbed for now.
Right. So let's put a black. Who you were saying about there?
Yeah, I'm going to say that's where you guys are. Brilliant. That's going to be your turn. Is just moving. BGZ is in his element. He is going to begin firing the heavy stubber. He is having a whale of a time. He's having a wonderful time.
Hell yeah.
He is going to be firing at half aim. He is going to be firing at the boys who are... He's firing full auto. He's basically just suppressing the shit out of the tower. That is a hit. I think one of these guys, I think he's just seen his friend emerge from the tower and has dropped down dead. I think several bullets just absolutely tear him apart, and BGZ chalks up another one. So, I'm going to say you guys get another surprise round now. Next up then would be Lothar.
It's your boy. Right. I guess I'd like to try and pick up another one unless I'm able to discern some kind of ammo thing that I could set off over there with another shot.
I'm going to say you can't see any more ammo. I'm going to say actually spotting, though. You can see a figure who is on top of the tower with a pair of binoculars.
He's huge. And he's got to go.
Okay, make that shot for me, please.
Can do. Still full aim?
No, half aim now, because you've changed targets.
Okay. Standard. Standard modifier 10 that I'm going to include this time.
Smart.
Good
Awesome.
thing I did.
That's a hit. Give me that damage.
All right. I'm going to... There we go. Another 8 damage popping out.
Yeah, I think this... With the recoil of the long lads, you don't really see him fall, but I think you see a pair of binoculars go spinning from the top of the tower as he tumbles down.
All right. Took out their eyes, boys.
Next up then is Tora.
Tora apparently has a bolt pistol on him as well that I think I don't know. Wait, is this the bolt pistol he
That's
stole?
That's the
from
one you stole. I
Gunnar
don't think you
Gunnarson?
currently. Oh no, that was
What?
that was specifically a squat pistol rather than
Yeah.
There he used the weapons of the enemy. It wasn't a bolt pistol. It was different.
Oh, okay.
It was a heavily modified stub revolver.
I've got a bolt pistol on my sheet. I just don't know where from.
I think that might be a mistake. I think you stole that from Commissar Kroll.
On what's-it-macaulay?
Yeah, and I think you gave it. Well, you eventually gave it back to him.
That sounds.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Dust is getting kicked up.
Yeah.
That sounds. Yeah, the sands. Yeah, it's the smoke.
What's the plan?
Tora's gonna pull out his revolver in one hand, Little Scythe Jr. in the other, and start making his way back towards the camp. We've still got another strafing run coming in, don't we?
Darn right.
Yep. Whenever you need it.
Yeah. Can it be? Can we make sure it's called in on the tower, Lothar?
You can ask. So I'm gonna say that you and the stormtroopers here are basically walking back. Running back into the area you just came. There are blades here, but I'm not gonna make you roll to kill them because they are like. It is the beach scene in Saving Private Ryan. They are staggering around. The stormtroopers are just firing at them as they're wounded. They are moving on. They are clearing tents. It is a massacre more than it is a battle on this end of it.
Tora, two pistols. He's got his Saturday night special in one hand.
Yeah.
His revolver in the other, and it's just going through and pew pew.
It is a slaughter. And I'm going to put you on this end of it. The ground here is hot. You can feel the heat and the crackle of the flames. That is the stormtroopers as well. Emilia, what's the plan?
I mean, at this point, I'm going to
keep driving.
Going. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'm going to say you're able to move. Oh, I moved the line rather than you. I'm going to say you're able to move past the water. You kind of come up the riverbank now, so you're in a much better firing position of everyone else here. BGZ is going to take another shot at, I think, one of the other guys who's just emerging from the tower. And he is going to fire. Standard range, full auto. Yeah, I think he misses. I think he's firing as he comes up this riverbank. I think he's shaking too much. Doesn't stop firing, but he is not hitting. Clear difference. I think the blades are going to strike back. So I think you see more of them emerge from the tower. There are, I'm going to say, 2 more of them that you see emerging. Lothar, between them, they seem to be carrying a heavy stubber. I'm going to say that on your end, Tora, what you're able to see is 2 more of them are basically emerging from. It seems like the eastern side near the tower was less hit, other than the melter charges, but they are not in a good state. But they are sort of emerging from. I'm going to say where one of the stables were, and they are coming over towards you. They will reach you soonish. Obviously, this is kind of abstract given the scale that we're working on here. It's hundreds of meters rather than a few. Okay, brilliant. That is. I think these. I think these other blades are going to emerge further forward. I think they are going to try and take shots at BGZ in the turret of the heavy stubber. I'm going to say all 3 of them who are not currently engaged or moving gear are going to try and do this. This is not going to be an aimed shot. They are running as they are doing this. But they are going to try their best, and that's all Fresh will ask of them. So that is 1 miss. We're going to have another shot. Oh, it helps if I do it correctly. No aim, standard range. Standard. That is another miss. And we are going to have the last one who's desperately firing. Again, that is a miss. I think all 3 of them. I think these rounds actually hit the Centaur, which is absolutely fine from these fairly weak Laslock charges. I'm going to say that it looks like the Valkyrie is just coming down. It's shifted into VTOL mode and it is landing maybe 30 meters to your west, Tora. at this point. Next up, Lothar.
Got you. First things first is calling in the airstrike specifically on the tower.
Mhm.
I don't know if that takes it. I'm perfectly fine if it takes up my shot.
Yep.
For me to
If
do that.
that's okay, yeah, I think they're going to basically realign and try and do what they can. So you kind of want this to hit south, west, northeast. I'm guessing that kind of line going across there.
Yes.
Okay.
That sounds about
I'm just
right.
guessing because that's if you wanted to draw a line, that's kind of where we're looking. Awesome. Yeah, I think Firebrand responds and they are ready. They have to basically circle round and get into a better fire position.
Gotcha. The same time with the microbead warning them that there's a strafing run coming in very soon. So Stentar's got to stop.
Brilliant. Tora, what's happening? There are two stormtroopers who are down. Two blades who are down this other end of this long route past the supply tents.
Tora, your microbead.
That's why Tora's got two knives.
I'm going to say they're about 50 meters away.
That's slightly further than I want them to be.
Yeah.
Tora's going to, using the tents as cover, position himself to blitz the fuck out of them in a minute.
Okay, cool. Tents aren't hard cover, but they are obscuring cover, which is important.
Yeah, it's like things are on fire, flames are. There's a lot going on.
I think, the other stormtroopers, I think, take cover. I think Gunnar's going to try and take a shot at them as he is just getting into cover, kind of firing from the hip here. He's going to try and fire with his hell gun. It's going to be no aim because he is moving fast as fuck, boy. Just a standard shot. Fuck, it jams. I think
like super jams.
It is a hell gun rather than a plasma gun. So I think, basically it's you actually see steam vent from his backpack power supply as he is running, whether it's from the blood from earlier, the dust, but it is now rendered useless. He kind of holsters his hell gun for now and ducks into cover next to you.
Can I hand him? I'll hand him my Saturday nights. Actually, he would have another gun, wouldn't he?
I hope so.
Tora's gonna go to hand him his revolver just in case.
Brilliant. You toss him your revolver. He kind of looks at it. This non-standard issue of Imperial technology. It gives you kind of
So this is the revolver with the silencer and the deactivated safety feature.
There's no trigger guard.
He kind of looks at you like.
This is the one with no trigger guard.
Yeah, he's glad he caught it all right. Otherwise, he would have shot himself.
Yeah.
Also, he kind of takes it and gives you a nod of thanks. Awesome. Next up then is Amelia. What's happening?
Keep driving.
Cool.
Literally told you to stop. It's a strafing run coming in.
Yeah, up to you. Do you want to advance still?
Where's this coming from?
It seems that it's going to be coming basically across here.
You see that nice line that they've already drawn with their bodies?
Yeah, so we'll drive near it.
A little bit close. Awesome. I think you drive slightly closer. You don't go at full speed. You're going kind of at half speed. BGZ, I think, is going to be firing again. He's going to try and sort of rack the slide on his little gun here, and he's going to try and fire again. He's actually aiming this time a little bit closer. Again, that's a failure. He misses again. He's having a great time, though. I think these blades, the two with the heavy stubber, I think are going to run forward. They're going to lie pretty much face down in the dirt, and they are going to try and fire at BGZ in the turret of the vehicle. They know they can't really do damage against the vehicle of it. It's not high caliber rounds, but they can at least try and shoot the gunner. I think.
No, but Gunner's with me.
Gunner's with you, but the gunner. I'm going to say
That's not how you say his name.
Sorry, my mistake. I'm going to say the rest of them are also going to try and fire at BGZ. I'm not even sure if they know that Lothar's here at this point. He's in a very hidden position. So then, the two with the heavy stubber, let's do them first. So they're going to be firing. Again, this is going to be no aim because they're literally deploying it and just fucking praying. Full auto, they're firing. Cool. The rounds, I think, ping harmlessly off the hull of the Centaur. The other 3 are also going to be firing at dear friend BGZ at this point. And we've got 1 hit there. They actually have a chance to aim now. They've stopped advancing. And they are going to take... Okay, that is 2 hits. And we have also got... Let's see on this one. Wow, okay. One of them, I think, goes to fire his las gun, and it is an unreliable weapon, and I think it literally just explodes in his hands as he fires, tossing him on his arse. I think he staggers to his feet and draws a sword. I'm going to say that is the guy in the furthest right. The other 2 with the las locks are going to... They'll damage. BGZ is quite a tough boy, but that is 17 damage protected by his armor. I'm going to say he... Looking up at him, Amelia, you see 1 shot skim off of his helmet and his head whips back. He's still firing. Another blow, I think, almost disconnects his arm entirely. He is still firing. A hymn of battle vengeance is screaming out in binary on his lips. Then you see his face light up as hell is let loose upon these men once more. And basically, the men who were once firing at you, including the heavy stubber, now disappeared in a cloud of blood and dust. Firebrand comes over your Vox again, Lothar, and says, "Fire mission complete, returning to base."
Thank you, Firebrand. Out.
These...
Those are our strafes.
Yep. Next up then, Lothar.
Right. I can't see anything. But I'm going to be checking in just in general status, everybody.
It's not looking good for the blades right now, by the looks of it.
That's not fun. Right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on Horse Heresy, and I'm going to try and trot as much as I can over to, well, let's say, like, I got to try and actually scroll. Critter, that'd be a good idea.
Point of order. Wasn't his name originally Horse Lupercal?
Yeah,
Horse
Horse
Lupercal.
Lupercal.
We change it every session.
But I keep forgetting the Lupercal part, and Horse Heresy sounds funnier in my head.
He responds better on Horse Heresy, but his legal name is Horse Lupercal. But his friends call him Horse Heresy.
Yeah.
If you want to spend your full turn basically gunning it to the west here, I think that's absolutely fine. You mount up on Horse Heresy and ride like the wind. It is an amazing scene as this jet comes over the top of you, bombing it. It looks fucking sick. Tora, you were in cover. These 2 blades are firing at you. What do you like to do?
They still have. How much ground did I make up on them?
I'm going to say maybe 20 meters.
Okay, so they're still like 30 meters away.
Yeah. Like it'll be another round of running, basically.
Tora's going to cut his way into the tent in front of him to get a different firing angle, and then pop a shot off at them from an unexpected angle. Okay.
Yeah, I think the stormtroopers, position themselves and basically trying to suppress these guys, if that makes sense to you. So they're not really they're just trying to keep them ducked into cover, but I'm going to say you've got a flanking shot on them if we count that as their turn. Brilliant. So make a shot then. I'm going to say on one of them, I'm going to give you a +20 on this because they are basically in cover, pinned, but you are on a flanking shot.
Yeah. Character sheet.
That's a useful thing to
have. Half aim?
Yeah, let's say so.
And this would be standard range, I assume.
This would be standard range, I think, for your revolvers.
Yeah. Fire and 20.
Awesome. Yeah. Give me that damage with 6 degrees of success.
Well, this is the Saturday night special. So
no, you gave that to
No. I gave him the revolver. I've got
sorry.
My Saturday night
you
special.
Still got that. You toss him a gun and pull another one out your ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not pops up the damage for me yet.
Roll 1d10 +2.
So awesome. 7, 7
impact.
Yeah. I think his head cracks back. The other guy with him kind of looks at him shocked, but he has at least now noticed your position. The other stormtroopers, I'm going to say that is their turn is spent suppressing this guy. Gunnar is kind of leading them. Also, I think behind you, the other Valkyrie lands with the 10 stormtroopers who are in a close fighting formation, who drop down next to you. You turn around, you can see the Valkyrie is scanning the horizon with its 2 heavy bolters. It is an amazing display of inquisitorial might. It's proud, puts a tear to your eye. Let me just drop all these guys here. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stormtroopers. 8. Oh god, these boys. 9, and then last but not least, 10. I'll sort out sizing in a second. Brilliant. They've just touched down.
Have human shit. They're all combined together.
Amelia, what would you like to do? I'm going to say you can probably see. It looks like the mood of the blades is not good. The vast majority of them are dead. The ones you can see are fleeing towards the northern edge of the camp at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll take a turn and go up.
Brilliant. Just going to head north, and yeah, BGZ's with you. I'm going to say at this point, it looks like most of the blades are routing here. You see a couple of blades who are about to set up a mortar position, just abandon it, and they are running as fast as they can to the north. It is not a good sight. It's not looking good for them. Give me a second, boys and girls. Brilliant. I think it is just a horde of, let's say, 30 men who are running north as fast as their little legs can carry them. I think BGC is firing from the hip with the heavy stubber. You don't know how many of them he is hitting in the darkness, but his traces definitely are colliding with something. It's looking bad. I think the final blade who seems to be in the camp by you, Tora, I think is drawing his sword and he is running at you.
Oh, Tora's going to pull out his knife and his stun baton.
Amazing. He's not going to reach you this turn, but you'll be able to next turn.
Nah.
Lothar, on Horse Heresy, I think you see 25 haggard-looking prisoners who kind of look at you warily as they slide down the dune and see you on Horse Lupercal. As you hear Tora's coughing from the fumes of the...
Tora, I wish the microbead... Tora. Right. The hail and well met. Keep on going. And just hiking a thumb over my shoulder towards wherever it looked like they were running to in the first place.
Well, Tora just told them south, which I guess from here would be Skystarers.
It's either there or I think if he's trying to have them return to the other...
Trana Oasis would be the other location. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you tell them to go back to Trana Oasis, and they nod and head off towards the west. Lovely. Tora, what's happening? This last blade. Oh no, I hope his microbead's not
Tora... Fuck.
Yeah,
Tora, I think as you see this blade, you realise that it is the scout who you first encountered here, who basically threatened you when you threatened to take some of the food back as a funny little joke. It is him who's drawn his sword.
In his forehead.
He has a much more pronounced V on his forehead than the rest, and he is coming at you.
Does Tora have enough time to smoke a glow stick?
I assumed he was always smoking a glow stick, unless you say otherwise.
No, Tora puts his pistol away, pulls out Little Scythe Jr., and pulls out a glow stick from another pocket, lights it on one of the burning tents or corpses nearby.
It is an amazing scene. Yeah.
And then turns to ready himself for when this guy runs at him. And so, Tora would like to be... Tora's not going to make the first attack, but Tora's going to be in position for when he charges at him to kind of step back and use his momentum against him.
Okay.
To like flip him either forward or try to disarm the sword.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I think
So I can make an opposed weapon skill test as well for that.
you can. I think. Let me think. I think Lothar, you hear another voice coming over the Vox now.
Oh.
Guillotine, this is Aventine requesting permission to pursue. It is the other Valkyrie. There's a crowd of blades who are fleeing towards the north.
Yeah.
This is one thing I wanted to mention.
Sure.
So I was gonna say, like, okay, they're fleeing. We should take some for interrogation.
Are you saying that over the box or
Yes.
the microbead? Okay. Guillotine to Aventine. See what you can do to get prisoners for interrogation.
No, not the
so-
not the ones that are fleeing. We can
Aventine,
find prisoners in the camp.
yeah,
The people that
Aventine
are
is
fleeing can
the
die.
Aventine is the Valkyrie. Like, they're not going to get out and ask for the wounded to jump aboard. They are like a gunship at this point. Their crew has already deposited. But you can ask the stormtroopers to go and try and find survivors, I think,
No,
from
there's
the camp.
the group of people that are fleeing
Yeah.
that I'm near with
Yeah.
BGZ.
Yeah. In
What I'm
terms of
saying
the
is
map
if-
size, yeah, they are off the
like-
map at this point.
Oh, okay.
Like, we can capture a few of them.
There are probably people inside the camp as well. You just haven't found them yet.
That's fair.
I
Guillotine
wanted to.
that
Well, it's
worries
not
me.
my turn yet, so
That's
never
fine.
mind.
But yeah,
Guillotine to Aventine. Clean them up.
Roger that. You see the Valkyrie move off of its VTOL mode and do a very slow, lazy circle above the survivors. You can see both heavy stubbers on the side of it firing. They are seeming to be enjoying their jobs, but yeah, you see them running as fast as they can through the sands, and it is exploding around them. You see them being blown apart. It's not a nice scene. Next up, then, yeah, I think this stormtrooper squad, containing Hans and Mian, are not Mian. Sorry, who else is it? Jerome, who was Orthamil's favorite, are coming. Yeah, they are coming through the camp. I think they are basically have linked up with the remains of this other stormtrooper squad, who have kind of seen you at the end of it in this mortal combat and are not firing, but they are again doing what they can. To anyone who is critically wounded, they are just finishing off. It is a cleanup operation at this point for them. Emilia, what's happening?
Well, yeah. Well, so are this as was an understanding? Is the VTOL or whatever it's killing the guys that I'm near?
Yeah, the guys
That
in the
were
north who
running away?
BGZ's been firing at. Basically, there's a good chunk of them who seem to have fled. There might be more survivors who are wounded who aren't able to run, who are inside the camp still.
I'm just saying. So that 20 or 30 or so are being killed off. Then
It seems so, yeah.
yes, there's no point in chasing that. Then I guess BGZ and I are gonna take a nice little drive through Tent City and
Yeah.
and you and like you said, say verbally or binary to BGZ or in general, talk to everyone else. It's like we should try to capture a couple people. This is likely not all of them. We need to clear this out.
Very much agreed.
I think you hear Cleo quickly giving commands to the rest of the stormtroopers. It looks like they're only going to kill the critically wounded now. Good news. So
I mean, we only need a few.
that is true. They're going to kill most of the wounded. Leave a few. Leave the most talkative ones.
Man, I just the group that was running. You know what I wanted to do. And that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
I was gonna throw my net grenade in.
Oh, I'm
be cool.
sorry. I could have let you do
No,
that.
no. I think you'd have to basically lean out the window in the center.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's quite cool though.
That would have been sick.
Yeah, stop! You violated the law. Yeah, you scream. Yeah, I think BGZ, whilst you said we are saving the wounded, I think he's still firing quite high arcing shots towards this crowd that is being peppered by the heavy bolters. Tora, this man, as he comes closer, you realise his sword crackles with powered energy. He
Uh-oh.
is running at you quickly. So he's going to make a weapon skill test, which you're going to oppose.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how my disarm worked. Oppose weapon skill test when in melee combat to force enemy to drop weapon.
Yeah, I think that's
swear
what
to God, if you get a power weapon out of
this
this
is going to be.
If 3+ degrees of success, they can take the weapon instead, which is how we stole. This is how Little Scythe
Yep.
Jr. came to be.
The local man steals every character's weapons. So this guy's going to swing at you. He makes a weapon skill test. Don't know if that's popped up.
failed.
68.
That's not popped up for me. That's fun.
It's
just
a
take your word
negative
for it.
1.
I'm going to trust all of you. That's fine.
Yeah,
Brilliant. So yeah,
target 55, failure
he
68.
fails. Tora, please give me your roll.
And
And
he
so
steals
I'm using Little Scythe Jr.
Awesome.
Where's Little Scythe? So hit roll. Am I allowed a full aim because I spent my last turn preparing for this?
Fuck yeah.
Submit. Just a standard attack.
Yeah.
Son
That's
of a
4.
fucking bitch.
That's 4 degrees of success.
What
So
does
that's
this
a
look
total of
like?
5 degrees. Can I dishand him?
Yeah, I think he screams,
Yeah.
death to the Imperium, death to the unbelievers, as he swings his blade down upon you.
So Tora knocks the blade forward with the unsharpened side of
Mhm.
Little Scythe Jr. and then hooks it around his wrist.
Yep.
And then sword in towards into the sand, having just touched my Tora, the scythe hooked around the dude's wrist.
Yeah.
And he goes "Oh, hail the God Emperor," and then kicks him in the lower forearm to then slice his hand off.
Fucking hell.
Hook the sword back up and catch it with his other hand.
Okay. I think the guy staggers back screaming at the bleeding stump of his hand, and as he looks up, you have just caught his sword.
Can I stab him with it?
Yes. I'm not going to have you roll damage. This is a coup de grace. What does this look like?
It literally, I want it to go in through. Tora's gonna slash up with his own sword and open up his inside, and then it's gonna drop Little Scythe Jr. and both hands on the hilt, drive this guy's sword through the eye on his forehead.
Okay. Through the what? Oh, through his eyes. Okay.
Yeah, no, through the V. Sorry, on his forehead.
Okay. I think as you do so, I think the V on his forehead, he staggers down, and maybe it's an instinctive thing. You think you hear something emerging from his lips, and he says, "I am ready, my lord," as he seems to be trying to daub something on the symbol in his forehead, but it is too late. He is gone, dead.
Don't like that. Don't like that one bit.
Brilliant. It's cleanup. I think actually, Lothar, as you crest the dune again with Horse Heresy, in the distance, you see a missile being launched at the Valkyrie. It coming far, far from the northwest. It quickly fires some flares. The missile collides with that instead and dissipates harmlessly. The Valkyrie pulls away. There's probably about 20 of them left who are fleeing. The Valkyrie says, "Pulling back, too hot."
Roger, absolutely pull back. And over Micro B is we still got company.
The blades seem to be fleeing. They're in disarray. I think the rest of the stormtroopers, disembark from the Centaur. BGZ is basically scanning the horizon. The other Valkyrie comes back and lands. It's a cleanup operation. The night is full of the sounds of these hell guns firing. I think eventually Cleo comes to you, Amelia, as you emerge from the Centaur. There is young member of the Blades, perhaps 17, who she has put into a pair of very, very heavy handcuffs, best used for the
Only
worst
one
of criminals.
person.
There seems to be one for now, as she tosses him at your feet.
I just nod to her.
She heads back with her squad. You don't hear any more hail gunshots. That's the end of the Battle of Quartz Crossing.
That's fucking good.
What would you like to do?
Oh my god.
It's about 1 a.m. The only thing lighting up the area is the still smouldering wreckage of the flak tank.
Was there any further fire coming from where that random ass missile flew from, or?
Does not seem so. It seems to be that was where the Blades were running to, though.
Oh,
We know where the Oracle is.
I guess
Yeah,
we do.
so when
Let me-
the battle's over, people are cleaning up or whatever. I guess I'm gonna load this guy onto the truck. With,
Mhm.
I mean, how many stormtroopers are in the truck? I forgot about
They've
that
left
part.
the truck now. They're in cleanup
Okay, yeah, so
operation.
there's room.
Yeah.
We'll load him up. BGZ, patch him up. I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's
obviously he's not going to heal health levels, but
it's mostly superficial. Like basically the servo arms was a few sprockets.
right.
were
We're
loose or
just
whatever.
gonna put some bits back together and
Yeah.
cover the armor. Yeah.
He looks fine. Yeah. So there are several Blades who have fled from northwest from Quartz Crossing. Prisoners have fled towards Trauna Oasis by your command. It's cleanup. What's the plan?
I'm gonna drive this prisoner back to where it's safe for us.
Yep, back to sort of your fallback point, your camp. It's fine.
But I want to keep him away from everybody else for a minute and talk to Lothar and Tora.
Cool. I think you encounter Tora in the base. And Lothar, you're still probably writing Horse Heresy.
Absolutely.
The three of you meet in the middle of it. It is a smouldering wreckage, but the battle is won. Now and then you do hear the cries of the wounded, but there's nothing.
I mean, yeah. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, we have a prisoner, and I doubt this is the end of the Blades entirely.
I know for a fact it's not. Someone fired a missile out at one of the Valks.
We've known about Fwad's Hold, right?
Mm.
Like we've known it on the map.
Yeah, it's always been
And
there.
we've-
You've not known anything about it.
I could have sworn there was a mention of something related to the Blades and that at some point, though.
Possibly.
I
You
remember
have to listen
us
back to the
basically
tape.
yeah. I remember us, or like maybe it was Critter or something, saying like, "Oh, that's probably where their holdout is," or something like that.
Do you, the listener, remember?
Write in.
My point being is like it's not completely unknown to us, and the way they were heading, like just kind of making a connection. It's like, look at this point on the map, it's like this is likely whatever remnants are left, whoever's in charge, perhaps the Oracle. I think this is the next place we're gonna need to.
From what you were told, there are around 300 members of the Blades of Fresh. I'm going to say probably about 50 of them have died today.
Right.
Hey, not bad.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
The Avenger did most of the
So
work.
we have a prisoner who's going to tell us everything that they know.
I'm positive that that's always how this is going to work. We should
Well, that's I'd like a couple other prisoners.
Why?
Because out of character,
Oh.
to recreate the Bear Jew with Tora.
Okay. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? I'm gonna say Gunnar, similarly with a pair of handcuffs, tosses a young woman at you. She has a fairly newly carved V in her forehead. I think she is dragged over to you by Gunnar, who tosses her at your feet. Jerome is next to him and says she was trying to flee. We dealt with her.
Good shit.
They nod and return back to their squad leaders.
It's weird to not do anything but nod, I think. Like, thanks sounds odd.
Thanks. See you later. You too.
You too.
Oh shit.
Love you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
Like-
She gives you finger guns as you moonwalk away. Like it's fine. Yeah.
Wow, you're doing a great job. Keep
Yeah.
up the good work.
The Emperor loves you. Yeah. So you basically got two prisoners. Seem to be two young members of the Blades.
Wait, well, yeah, that's kind of what I want to say. Is like, listen, Dora, I think you play bad cop in this instance.
Oh, I fucking love bad cop.
We're gonna get what we can out of them, and if they don't cooperate, then you're gonna make them cooperate.
In the meantime, I guess then I can call in over to, let him know what's going on.
Sure. Call in to who?
Oh, out of character calling into Lane. I'm
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to say
sure.
the name in front of them.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Now I'm trying to be stealthy.
Yeah, sure. You can get on the Vox to him if you like.
Going to call my dad.
Yeah.
I'm
Wink.
gonna go call Papa.
Yeah, you walk away from the prisoner, who I imagine you're chucking in the back of the centaur and taking back to the camp. Lothar, as you're walking through this mess of smouldering tents, horses, and people, you get out your Voxcaster.
Bee boo boo bop.
Ah, Lothar, I hope.
Ye-
I've got
yeah,
caller ID on. I thought it would be you.
Yeah, no.
Wait, wait. How would his caller ID work if
Well, what you
we're
didn't
also
notice-
ringing him on the same phone?
What
It's
you
fine.
do notice is that every time you press the button, it actually like stabs your finger to get your DNA.
It's a DNA
so
thing.
that-
Yeah.
I say fingerprint scanner, but he's like stabbing
Yeah,
my
yeah.
finger in particular makes
It's
it
good
way
to
more
be good to
40K
be
sense.
secure.
Absolutely.
Lothar, how is it?
Good. We've secured Quartz Crossing, and we have a couple of prisoners to interrogate.
Fantastic work.
Absolutely. Wanted to give an update on everything going on.
I spoke
no
to
loss.
Firebrand. Sounds amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad that they called in ahead.
Yeah.
No, everything's been cleared up. Wanted to give you a heads up. No casualties on our side. No loss.
Excellent work. Let me know if there's anything else I could do. I'd expect the stormtroopers back up here for D. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye.
And he hangs up.
Oh, I really hope he
What
doesn't
a
find
nice
out.
guy.
I hope he doesn't find out about the car. He
about
doesn't
the
need to
car.
find out about the car.
Oh, another thing to Lothar. I can't wait to drive that car you got for me. No, he doesn't say that.
Oh gosh. All right. So Lothar's done. He'd hop back over with good cop, bad cop, and
Awesome.
I don't know, bailiff. I guess
Wow.
is what Lothar will be.
Are you letting the two stormtrooper squads go back to the Ipcrest?
I don't think we have any other reason to hold them. Oh,
Yeah,
it sounds like they're getting ready for it anyway. Hold on.
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose that the question is, three. So we have about 250 or so of them left.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
they've got their Valkyries still fine. Like that, you can bring them back when you need.
yeah, we don't need them to just hang around. They can go back, refuel, gear up again.
Cool.
I think that's reasonable.
You see the two Valkyries in that case head back up. Quartz Crossing is a wreck in the distance. The two prisoners are by your campfire. What would you like to do?
Tora would like to be in the gloom, but with the power sword, inspecting it like a little bit of ways away.
It actually looks like it is an old Imperial Guard officer's sword, which has had the
Aquila.
the Aquila is scratched off of it, but it also it's not actually curved naturally. What's happened is someone has basically cut into the metal here and has tried to make it look more like a local sword, despite it clearly being of the Vresh Grenadiers. It is a sort of standard issue one, but it is sort of made to more look like a traditional Aldradaran sword.
Okay. Cool. Tora's going to use Little Scythe Jr. to kind of carve an Aquila back into it.
Sure, you do a bit of arts and crafts whilst these two prisoners stare at you. What's the plan?
Yeah, so I suppose What is hard? Like, oh, it'll be hard and intimidating out of nowhere. Like,
I you could just torture people. You are the Inquisition.
I know, but I do have bonus to interrogation.
This is what I mean.
I mean, yeah, interrogation doesn't have to be mean. But at the
could
same
be fun.
time, I have to. Yeah. Trying to think how to turn what would F be.
Hey kids, sinning against the emperor is no good.
Oh dear.
Sorry, go ahead.
I guess we're gonna, come over to them as they're sitting down, and I guess we'll sort of crouch down with them and map in hand as well. Hey, if you want to live, you need answers. Where is the rest of your cult?
I think the woman speaks first. She laughs and spits some blood into the fire before you, which hisses. We are not a cult. We are the true believers of Resh, and you will be cast aside.
Interesting.
The firepower that we just brought down on you is nothing compared to what we have. You have nothing here but fallen debris.
We have Resh on our side, she says, looking at you with a Firebrand's fury in her eyes. What have you got on yours?
I'm just gonna kind of laugh because literally
it is ludicrous. Yeah, absolutely.
But also remembering is like Resh, the drop pod. How many years ago was that?
As in when you guys cracked open that cold one.
Yeah, and I'm asking her.
She says that the blades have only formed in the last year, but Fresh has always been here, and now we are his people who he has chosen to strike out against the unbelievers across the galaxy, not just on this planet.
Right.
You will be the
that
first.
Pod wouldn't have opened if it wasn't for me.
You were sent here by Fresh. So
I opened that pod, and there was a dead man inside of it.
She says that she doesn't believe you.
I figured as much. But I asked you again, do you want to live?
She tosses her head back and laughs and says, do what you wish with me.
I look to the guy then. How about you?
He is staring at the fire and does not respond.
Very well, one more chance.
She
we
grins.
need to know where the rest of your people are. We're here to what would you call it? I don't know how to say it.
She grins a bloodied smile and says, my soul and heart is with Resh already. Do what you must.
Very, very well. Tora
gets up from carving the Aquila in the side of the power sword, walks behind her, and then drives the sword through the back of her skull into the sand in front.
Jesus. As you do so, the other prisoner starts to run. He is running west as fast as he fucking can.
Bowlers. Tora had his bowlers ready for this and would like to throw him at him.
Sure, maybe a ballistic skill roll.
Plus 10.
Plus 10.
His ankles get highlighted.
Wow.
It's bad.
Bowlers. Hit half aim?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're spending a moment to spin them up. You're not just yeeting them. Yeah.
And is it point blank or short range?
I'm gonna say this is short range. He's made some distance. He wants to live.
Standard modifier 10.
Shut
That's
up.
4 degrees of success if you can't see it.
I can't see that. I think this guy's running, and basically his hands are still locked together in this Stormtrooper issue pair of handcuffs. He goes face down into the dirt, and he is wriggling, still trying to get away, but he ain't going anywhere.
Tora's gonna walk up and grab his ankle and then drag him back slowly towards Amelia.
And
then,
I'm
like,
gonna
just
have
like,
my mechadendrite out with the big needles and everything, and just be like, I can paralyze you from the neck down.
Sure, make me.
Are you intimidating him, or are you actually going to do
Yeah.
that?
No, I'm intimidating. I guess.
Okay.
Actually, I don't have intimidate. I have interrogation.
Are you going to interrogate him and leaving you to do that?
Yeah, but I mean, it's either strength or willpower. That's weird. Where's willpower is better?
Sure.
I mean, I'll see what happens. I got nothing in this.
It's rock and roll, baby.
No bonus.
No bonus.
Can Tora assist in the intimidation?
What's Tora doing?
Might need to.
Tora's gonna be wiping
Goddamn.
the blood, wiping the blood from his compatriot in the sand immediately next to his head, kind of like humming a tuneless tune underneath his breath.
Okay.
Clearly, just waiting for the command to end his life too.
What was the roll, Amelia?
I failed
Amelia's
really
first
bad
roll
the
was
first
99.
one. I re-rolled with a negative one.
Your
Okay.
intimidation
So one
jammed,
degree.
Jesus.
Okay.
Failure with one additional degree.
1 degree of failure. I'm going to say that Tora, he's not broken, but he stops wriggling.
Okay.
Just because, I guess, listen. I don't know if you noticed, but we released your prisoners from the camp before we attacked. Well, we're not above helping those who are innocent. I looked at Tora. You can give me this information, and you can also give me information on perhaps areas that should be left alone. Families, children, etc. Areas we don't need to hit. One way or the other, this place is going to get hit. So maybe you don't care about your own life, but do you care about somebody else?
He looks at you, and I think you realise he's actually probably a bit younger than you first thought. He's probably in his mid-teens. He says to you that whatever you do to me, the blades will do worse.
We can literally take you off planet if we wanted to, where they can't touch you. Because for all their claims of conquering space, they can't even make it there.
I think it is confused. It feels like you have told him something he did not think possible, as if seeing in another sense. He just kind of faces the fire, muffled and befuddled. What's the plan?
We're going to rehabilitate him. No, genuinely, I don't know.
I think I give him a few minutes in his own thoughts while Taurus...
Undoing the bowlers, I assume?
No,
that's still round. Okay.
Yeah, no. Taurus undoing the bowlers and be like, look, hey, Jim. Look, next time I'm just gonna cut your hamstrings, so just be careful.
Sure. Lovely. Yeah, I think he slowly turns to you. Bless you, he says. He turns to you, Amelia, and he says, "What do you want to know?"
We need to know who is leading the Blades, where this Oracle is. Maybe they're the same person, and we intend to take this cult out. As I said, though, I'm willing to save those who are innocent or caught up in it.
He says to you that his name is Sanjar, and he was originally from Ishwala. He explains that he's never met the Oracle himself, but he believes them to be at Fuad's Hold, and it's there that they are going to get off planet. But he doesn't know anything else.
I guess I kind of looked at Tora. You think that's all he knows?
Well, he's still got 2 hands, so we can find out.
He begins to beg.
Say,
Cora begins to get a hard on.
Ugh.
I'm
who
kind
I
of
told,
kidding.
at least that
Fine.
confirms what we were thinking.
Mm.
You know nothing of this place, how defended it is.
He shakes his head and said, "I've never been."
And there's never been a figure that's come around clearly in charge.
We have local leaders we have followed, but I answer to the Oracle, and the Oracle speaks for Vresh.
I mean, out of character, I'm willing to let him go, except, genuinely he fears what they would do to him. Then I say go to the Pleasure Dome and look for what's the old man's name?
Yes.
Yurt.
And
We're
look for
not
Yurt.
sending an ex-cultist to Yurt.
Yeah, Yurt will take care of him.
Hey, Jim, but look, I just really want you to kind of have a better understanding of what's happened here. This is what happens when you turn your back on the Emperor. So just keep that in mind in your future dealings with other people. If they go, hey, let's turn our back on the Emperor, just remember this.
He nods his head shakily.
Out of character, I kind of want to send him back towards the cult, but like with a bomb collar on.
You guys should do that.
Which is way out of line for Lothar.
No, not only that, but like, would he go knowing he's got a fucking bomb collar on? Like,
I've seen some people do it before, yeah. I think it's like, I don't know, what was that one movie where the bus was going really fast? He couldn't drop it below a certain, like it's
Crank.
a thing.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, it's Crank.
Yeah.
Crank.
I'm just saying, he wants to, if he wants to not be tortured or whatever by his cult there, by the Blades, then he needs to go somewhere else. So either you send them to the Star Starers and maybe they forgive him, maybe they don't. Or you send him to the Pleasure Dome and he has to get away from the desert.
Up to you guys. What do you want to do? His fate is in your guys' hand.
I think we need the message of what's happened here to get out and why it happened more than anything else.
So, what do you propose we do then?
What if we all just had sex?
I'm down for that. No!
Well, worth a try.
I don't know.
Oh, Amelia, my
Right.
No, I don't see the harm in like letting the guy go necessarily. Like, he's gonna start up a new cult? We have to do it all again.
Yep. That's what I was thinking, because we let a dead man go previously, and look how that turned out. It made a freaking cult here.
In a year's time, Lane's gonna go, "Hello, boys. I've got some bad news. You're going back to Mount Jadal for the first
But
time."
then, as Tor's saying, like, okay, he made his point about the Emperor and everything and whatnot too. So you let the guy go. He was like, hey, no, he won't do that potentially.
It seems his current priority is survival. Whether or not what he's telling you is the truth, he just doesn't seem to want to die.
Coward.
Yeah.
Only way to live is to die.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Bond movie?
Yeah.
I don't know. We can send them down to Sky Stairs and see what kind of local justice they do, and go from there. Maybe they can even pull something more culturally out of him than we could.
Also, we have to go back to Sky Stairs anyway. I've got something I need to pick up.
What do you have to pick up a Skystarer?
He's got an
I-
illuminated manuscript of a burger menu.
Oh my god, you're right. I forgot about that.
Don't worry.
I mean, yeah, whatever. We can go back there. We need to tell them what happened anyway.
Yeah, we do. As we go, I know we totally had a gunship rip through this camp twice. But is there any way that we can replenish our supplies with the things that are left?
Yeah, I
Cool.
think looking through Quartz Crossing, what you actually find, I'm going to say that picking through the wreckage that has been left behind, you find 7 heavy stubbers, you find 4 mortars, and I'm going to say you have enough food and water that is mercifully undamaged here to restock your supplies to full. You've
Awesome.
destroyed most of the camp, but there's obviously some stuff hidden away. But yeah, big find is weapons and artillery here.
It looks like we've got stuff to give back to Skystarers to help refortify it a bit. Let's see if we can load what we can in.
Sure.
I don't know how much you're willing to give us to load into a centaur or not, but
As in like
that's-
food and shit and all that.
food and preferably we're leaving shit.
Yeah,
I'm-
can we drag the? Can we like get some carts or something and drag some shit?
So I'm going to say in terms of supplies you're able to get, you've got enough to restock for your vehicle in terms of the supplies you've got. I don't think you've got enough
Sure.
for any extraneous stuff. To be honest, I don't think Skystarers were starving. Like they actually seem to be okay. It was more the threat.
No,
of
I
the...
mean I want to give them guns and
Oh,
mortars.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
stick the heavy stubbers and the mortars in the back. Absolutely fine.
Righteous.
It's
Okay.
going to be more
that's
cramped
exactly
in there,
what I wanted
but that's
for.
sorry. I thought you meant like getting extra food and water. I was like, maybe not.
No. That would
that's
would
fine.
break what we're doing.
Cool. Yeah.
Totally get it.
So it's 7 heavy stubbers and 4 mortars, which you sling in the back, and I think you head slowly southeast to Skystarers. But what are you doing with this fella? Are you taking him with you?
Yeah, we'll take them with us.
I vote to take him with us.
Awesome.
Turn him loose to a whole bunch of nerds. See what they do.
As the sun rises across Quartz Crossing, it illuminates what is left of the Blades who stayed and fought here. Some are blasted apart in the desert in the north where they tried to flee, but for those at Quartz Crossing, they will never see another sunset here. And that's Dark Heresy for this evening.